Oh, we're gonna have a fun one for you today. We got a list. We know you love lists.
Lists are
Everybody
undefeated.
loves a list,
especially debatable lists.
Yeah, everyone loves a debatable list, right. Especially debatable lists from Australians that know about rap.
You know, I don't want to throw too much straight.
I know I don't either. But I do. But yeah, it's just like how come it's always somebody from another country that just decides that they'll make a list. We're such lazy fucks.
I tend to look at it the other way, right? I think that they're outside of the U.S. entertainment echo chambers. So a lot of times when people are making lists about things that come out of the U.S., they're not thinking about it in the same context as we think about things every day. And so, to me, I like that.
See, I take it totally different. I take it that they're not really in rap music shit, so they just know what big companies have pushed to them and what cool blogs have told them to check out. So they're not going to give me anything insightful about a rapper that I haven't heard of, that hasn't been on a fucking blog or on NPR or on the cover of a magazine.
Well, let's see what we think about this list. We can see what this one, how you react to this one.
But they're both can be true at the same time there, Justin. That's the thing, you know what I mean? They cannot.
Oh, sorry, keep going. My bad.
No, that's all I'm saying. Like both your statement and my statement are true.
Right, because I think both you and I agree on how the South and the Midwest have been underrepresented for so long, at least with stateside media, right? Like everything was LA, New York, and or Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta's.
So this Australian guy is victim of that same echo chamber. He's not telling me about any slept on Midwest MCs.
We might need to take a look at this list.
Let's take a gander.
We might need to take a look at this.
This is the best lyricist list you got for me, man.
Yes, lyricists. Now, they don't really define in the piece what they mean by lyricists, right? When I think of lyricists, for example, I think about people who are crazy with words, wordplay, but still can get their point across. Maybe they can still make a great song with it, but it doesn't have to be a song that went multi-platinum, in my opinion. But it's the difference with what they're doing with words. Like, I don't think about Gucci Mane as a great lyricist, even though I think he's one of the most influential people. I think he's made a lot of great joints. I don't think about him as a great lyricist.
Yeah, I don't even consider lyricists really. Not that I don't like them or nothing like that. I rarely listen to something just for lyrics, or if I do, it's just one time.
Exactly.
I like a whole song, you know what I mean? Like, trust me, lyrics do matter to me, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear, just like something I feel like is going to make me lose IQ points. So I'm all the way for somebody that can spit. I really am. But I'm just gonna, I'm kind of lay back and take pot shots or some shit like that. I don't really know much on this one to be all the way real. And we'll read you his top 10, and you guys can call up, and you and I can also vote on some of these things. You ready to do this shit? Top 10 lyricists.
Top 10 lyricists. We'll start with number 10. You want to start with number 1?
Yeah, let's just go number 1 and go up.
Number 1. Yeah. My thing with the lyricists, because I'm a lyrics guy first, right? And so I pay a lot of attention to this stuff. That's why I think this list is really interesting. Again, this comes from Beats, Rhymes, and Lists. It's a website that focuses on lists.
Yes.
So check them out because they put a lot of work in. They're only 2 years old. And so, it's basically a one-man mission. And I think he comes up with some interesting conversation starters. So
I like his list, by the way, just so you know.
You like his list? Okay, good. The comment section on his article did not like this list. Which
I don't agree with it, but I like that he made it.
There we go. But to me, that's what I think a good list is. Like when people are pissed off at it, I'm like, oh, that's a great list. Number 1, Andre 3000.
Yeah, he's a beast. Here's the problem though, man. Like, it's so hard. What's easier, to be in a group or to do solo shit?
Come
on.
I mean, it's a different.
You just.
I mean, to me, it's
carry
harder.
less weight.
To me, it's harder to be in a group, one, because you get less money.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, as far as him having to come out with really good shit, he has to come out with less good shit because he's in a group.
Right. He only has to. He doesn't have to carry as much weight.
Showing it, someone is carrying the load. So, like for me, I would think about that when I'm weighing out how I feel about that shit. But I'm not mad at it. Like if someone says Andre 3000, I'm like, yeah, I fuck with that dude. Right. I really do, since the beginning. And they kind of changed the whole sound. They made everybody listen to the South in a different way. And he was kind of a fearless MC in that, like, he just was rapping about whatever fuck he was feeling. And a lot of cats just don't do that.
And like, you know, I always think about Andre verses because he'll make really deep, compelling, visceral verses about people he ran into at the mall or was just talking to somebody.
Right? Like the elevator song. Yeah, like the elevator song. Fucking. Right. And that's a single. And he's just talking about something very mundane, the mundane life of somebody that's known as a rapper, but still hasn't all the way made it. And just the interaction he has with a shopper at the mall and how he's misunderstood.
Right. I mean, he did it on Southern Playlistic. I can't think of the name of the track right now. When he was talking about the girl who got pregnant, about 2 weeks later.
Oh, Brenda.
Right. About 2 weeks later, she called me with some bullshit, talking about her period late. Guess what I did? Click. You know what I mean? Like he's done that his whole career, you know. And
he's fucking awesome.
I'm waiting for a verse from him with, you know, all the people that have seen him playing his flute in the airport. You know, like next time he show up, he's going, I was talking to somebody while I was playing my flute, you know. But he's a monster.
I know he played the flute in the airport. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? He's amazing.
Yeah. Plays flute. All right. Rakim's next.
Now Rakim's number 2. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I feel like Rakim just doesn't get. He just doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, people fuck with Rakim, but he just doesn't make the list like he needs to because Rakim birthed so many of these cats.
Right. I mean, in my mind, and I could be wrong about this, I don't think I am, but in my mind, he's the first cat to do math in a rap. You know, when he's like, I take 7 MCs, put them in the line, add 7 more brothers who think they can rhyme. It'll take 7 more for I go for mine. That's 21 MCs ate up at the same time. Like, that is pushing things lyrically.
Yeah, I don't know. I never paid attention to that. I never thought about that, but I can't think of anything else. Also, like for you know, if you, on the second album, Follow the Leader, it's if you listen to that as a single, it's so far away from anything that's a single now. You know,
right.
He's you know, he's talking about being a 5%er and like just kind of deep spiritual shit, metaphysical shit, and it goes hard to the motherfucker. And then you got the, you know, Paid in Full, the whole Paid in Full album. That's all. That album influenced so many people. It's not even funny, man.
Right, without question. You know, and I felt like he was one of the first cats to get really naturalistic. Right, I think about him the way I think about Marlon Brando. You know, like a lot when films came out, these cats were acting like they were on Broadway, like they're on the stage, so everything had to be bigger in the presentation. Yeah. And that's how MCing seemed to me for all the way up until Rakim. And Rakim was like just straight talking to you.
Yeah, you're right. Because like I feel like Big Daddy Kane doesn't get the love he deserves because he does do it. There is a touch of that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Exactly. Like you know, there's a he doesn't talk like that. You know what I mean? Rakim raps like he talks. You know.
Right.
And, Big Daddy Kane, who I think is an awesome lyricist, his voice was still a little bit old, like still a little bit have that little old school flavor to it. So I think he doesn't get the love he deserves. I mean, like when Big Daddy Kane first dropped, like he was unbelievable, but Rakim does, think of him as like it's like he's just sitting down talking to you. You right?
Sure.
Shaking him up, breaking him up, breaking him up. Number 3, I don't agree with at all, but I don't know him enough to disagree. But I'm just gonna disagree because you like him.
Lupe Fiasco. To me, this feels about right. Lupe, to me, when it comes from a lyricism standpoint, is number 3 or higher. Literally, right? And it's because of a few things. One, how he can take very big concepts and make them very small, right? Like if Andre 3000 lives in, the universe and he's out of space, out of this world, Lupe lives in the quirks and the quarks and the protons and the neutrons, right? Like he can,
So does his record sales.
Lupe's got platinum albums.
How many?
2.
Congratulations.
Yep.
When people went and bought albums or when they streamed albums?
Well, the 2 albums
Take it back.
The two albums that went platinum are from albums that came,
they
came out in the 2000s. Yeah, I mean, Lupe came out in 06.
Look, man, hey, look, here's the deal. I'm not even mad at the dude. I like him fine. He's great, but I've never heard any Lupe verse where I'm just like, wowzers. But I only hear singles though, to be real with you, like the kick push shit, like it's you're not gonna sell anybody on lyricist, best lyricist ever with kick push. Sorry.
Have you heard Daydreaming?
No, I have not heard Daydreaming.
He won a Grammy Award. It's probably the most complicated Grammy Award-winning rap song ever. He won Best Rap Song.
What made it so complicated? Just out of curiosity.
It's a song about a project building that turns into a robot.
Okay.
And anybody in the history of rap before Lupe could have made that song. There was project buildings before Lupe Fiasco. There were robots before Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah.
Yes. His imagination is out of this world, and that was on the same.
It might be out of this world, but he also had a whole his one theme was he had a whole album theme based off of fucking that was taken from a Detroit techno group from the 80s that he claimed as his own.
Which one? What was that? I missed that.
Living about the slave ship, living underwater people.
Oh, Joe Goss Wave. I didn't know that actually.
That wasn't him. No, that's Drexia, man. That's Drexia. They Detroit cats, and they was making like wild ass techno shit back in the day, man. And that was their whole mythology.
Really, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so like maybe there's a short story about a project building turning into a robot that I don't know about. I'm only doing that for me and Justin can fucking so we can have banter. But for real, I ain't bullshitting you on the Drexia shit.
I would check that out. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, look, Drogos Waves like Lupe's 7th album. So he'd already cemented himself. He also got a Mural, which is like one of the most respected songs in the history of MC.
Hey, look, man, I don't look like I said. I can't even comment on him. I just said that to fucking fuck with you, but. I wouldn't put him there because I don't know his music, but I'm ignorant to his music, so I really can't speak on it.
Number 4. You want to go number 4? Or you want to say?